Tonight, for the second time in 21 days, a nationwide blackout struck at dawn, leaving hospitals, businesses and homes scrambling. Is it coincidence or systemic collapse? The Institute of Energy Security is demanding full-scale investigation plus public disclosure.
Because it's a temporal measure, occasionally when there's some frequency disturbance, it takes off Akosomo immediately to protect the system. And we are aware, but fortunately, the work that is being done to build the control room is expected to be completed just next month. And so I would appeal to Ghanaians to bear with us.
Government is in a mad rush to beat a September deadline and build a temporary control system to stop another national blackout.
If you look at the two scenarios, for example, it conflicts a system failure, which needs a critical interrogation. It may be some sort of persistent challenge in the value chain. It could be deferred maintenance, it could be under investment, it could be equipment obsolescence.
The top story is brought to you by Telecel. Connecting Energy's holy insecticide spray and coil. Enjoy a holy sleep. Shield Pension Trust into the future with you. When we return from the break, we delve into Ghana's current power situation and speak to the Energy Ministry and the minority in Parliament. See you in a moment.
If I become a millionaire, I will put a huge billboard right next to my ex's house saying, "Look at me now, I hate it."
As for me, I'm quitting my job in Star. Me too, I hate it.
Telecel is making millionaires this season. Not one, not two,
but 3 millionaires.
Each month, one lucky Telecel customer wins 1 million Ghana cedis for the next 3 months in the Telecel Mahetse promo. Plus, you still get to win 20,000 Ghana cedis weekly, 100 Ghana cedis daily, bundle 10 Ghana cedis, airtime or data. Top up your Telecel cash wallet or your fixed broadband to stand a chance of winning. Visit the Telecel Play app or dial *500# to opt in for free into the Telecel Mahetse promo.
Telecel, connecting energies.
This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
Couldn't sleep at night. Mosquitoes will be whining in my ears, bugging me all night long. Till I got a remedy. Now I'll be spraying them away with holy insecticide spray. I go spray them away with holy insecticide spray. When I sleep, me da with holy insecticide spray.
Holy mosquito coil, holy multi-purpose insecticide spray. Ghana Kron Kron. For bulk purchase, call 0302 681582. This advert is FDA approved.
Syntax Tango! Syntax, hey, tough, hey, strong. If you want quality, this be where you belong. Syntax, hey, tough, hey, strong. Oh, Ghana shout, sing the song. When the sun they hot, Syntax no break. When the rain they fall, still no shake. Builders they choose and plumbers they prove. Any project you they start.
Palladium Residences in Achimota isn't just an address, it's the home you've truly earned. Secure your place with just a 10% deposit and choose from beautifully designed modern apartments or spacious townhouses built for everyday comfort. This is more than a building. It's a vibrant curated community with a clubhouse, state-of-the-art gym and an on-site hotel, all at ABC Junction, minutes from Achimota Mall. Enjoy city energy whilst retreating to your private sanctuary. Call now to reserve your unit and benefit from limited launch incentives, including priority unit selection. Don't miss the chance to pick the best homes. Book your private site visit today. Call 050-9823-424. Palladium Residences. Live smart, invest better.
This is News Night. My name is Kenneth. Gyasi. For the second time in 3 weeks, the country was plunged into darkness at dawn today, a repeat of the July 29th collapse. Investigations point to the April fire at the Akosombo that wiped out 6 generation units and crippled the system. A 7-member committee then warned that a new state-of-the-art system was urgent. Energy Minister John Jinapor now says work is underway around the clock to finish a temporary control system by September to prevent a third collapse. But the Institute of Energy Security, IES, isn't buying the response. They want answers and are calling for a thorough investigation and transparency. First, listen to Chairman of the 7-member investigative committee, Dr. William Amuna, on the recommendations when he presented the report to the minister at the time.
Earlier memo to you, and the memo was to tell you that we needed an interim arrangement there so we could transfer the protection from Akosombo power plant to that side. So that is being done now. Hopefully very soon it will be over, and then I will do that. Now let me look at I don't want to go through all these findings, the financial implications and all those things, because Honorable Minister has another meeting. But let me look at some of the recommendations. We are expecting that by the end of August, this interim arrangement should be in so that we can transfer the protection and the control back to that arrangement that's being undertaken by Gridco and then the VRA. We must put up a new control building. We have identified the Pokwase substation. That is a new substation that meets all the safety standards and everything. And so I'm sure very soon Gridco will be knocking at your doors for assistance, which I know you have been pushing from the beginning. Hopefully, we should have state-of-the-art permanent control building. I expect that such a building could come up within 18 and 24 months.
Well, following the blackout today, the Minister for Energy, John Jinapor, explained what the challenge is and argued that government is working around the clock to complete the temporary structure to avert future blackouts.
This morning, you realized that we had a bit of some disturbance with power supply. When we had a major incident at Akosombo, after meeting the engineers, we had two options: either to shut the plant down and build the control center in its entirety, which meant that the plant would have been off for 6 months, or put in this temporary structure or temporary mechanism and restore the power, albeit knowing that it will be a bit fragile. As minister, I had a decision to make, and I decided that we should go by the temporary measure whilst we put in place a permanent solution. And so engineers working around the clock have improvised a system to supply power from Akosombo.
That is the Energy Minister, John Jinapor, there. But the Institute of Energy Security, IES, is calling for more. Smith Buahi is Senior Researcher and Policy Analyst at IES.
If you look at the two scenarios, for example, it conflicts a system failure, which needs a critical interrogation, first off. One, if you look at the value chain of power distribution or power generation, you have the generation, the transmission, and the distribution. And these disturbances has occurred at 2 points in the value chain, which should presuppose that it may be, some sort of persistent challenge in the value chain. It could be deferred maintenance, it could be under investment, it could be equipment obsolescence. These are all, characteristics that have plagued the interconnected transmission system, as it were, in this country. And we have IES, for example, has called on, the upgrading of our systems. And you realize that ECG, for example, has spent about 200 million Ghana cedis to help in the upgrade of this maintenance. But if the system operator does not come out with exactly what the challenges has been in the sector in the last 4 to 6 weeks or so, it will be difficult for us to also follow along how the development in the grid operation has been.
We'll speak to the Energy Ministry, the minority, and IES shortly. But in the meantime, let's crisscross the country for more on this, because we're learning the power has been restored to places such as Kumasi, Kintampo, Accra, Tema, Cape Coast, and Takrady. Let's begin from the Western region and speak to our resident correspondent in Athalia, Kwanza. In Athalia, is there light where you are? Hello, Nathalia, do I have you?
Yes, Kenneth. So the lights went off this dawn unexpectedly without anyone knowing that we were going to experience this. But as at 11:45 a.m. this morning, we had the lights that is still on.
How widespread is the restoration of power? Is it across the entire region?
Well, from what I have gathered, some part of the region have it, and others are still waiting to get the power back. But in the regional capital, Takoradi, we have lights.
Well, thank you very much, Nathalia. Let's head to the northern region and speak to Martina Bugri. Martina, is there light in the northern region as we speak?
Yes, for the northern region, power has been restored. NEDCO says it is not a fault from them, and so once the main problem was resolved, it didn't have to affect any other place. And so for the region, yes, there's power. Power has been restored.
Well, thank you very much, Martina. Ivy Setoji is our Volta regional correspondent. She's also joining the conversation. Ivy, do you have a similar situation in the Volta region, light restored?
Yes, please. It's been restored, and most of the places, but currently some of the places like the whole municipal hospital ministries, GNE, and some parts in the regional capital are experiencing lights out until 6 p.m. So by 6 p.m., every other place that is off will be restored. But for now, most of the places are restored.
And where is the communication coming from that by 6 p.m. every light will be restored?
From ECG, I have it here. So it went off at 4 p.m. So it will be restored in few minutes at 6 p.m. in some few places in the capital.
Well, thank you very much, Ivy.
That's good. Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Ivy Setoji reports to us from the Volta region. Let's go into the telephone lines right now and speak to Collins Adumaku-Mensah. He's the Deputy Ranking Member on the Energy Committee. Derek Hatcher is a Senior Research and Policy Analyst at the Institute for Energy Security. Gentlemen, I appreciate your time on the program this evening. Thank you very much. Mr. Adumaku-Mensah, I want to begin with you because we all recall the Amuna Committee, which told the Minister in June the interim system will be running by the end of August. It's now August 20th. We are seeing a second blackout. Was Parliament misled on the timeline that was given, you think?
Well, thank you, and good evening to yourself and your listeners. First of all, I have not seen the report that was presented to the Minister. As a committee, we've not been presented with the reports. We've just read few comment on it on social media and major news platforms. So I'm unable to comment fully on the report that was presented to the Minister. What we were told when we met Gridco on another issue, when they appeared before the committee on an audit report that they presented to us, and as part of our public interest questions, we asked them about the reports. They indicated to us that yes, they've presented the report to the Minister, and that the significant part was that, if you recall at the time, there was an issue of whether there was sabotage, but they confirmed that the report was clear, that there was nothing about sabotage with the reports. So I'm unable to comment fully on what is in the report. What is worrying to everybody is that within a space of 1 month, we've had two significant trips within our power situation, which is quite worrying. Although in each of the situations, officials have worked their way to have power restored within the shortest possible time, it's still a cause for worry to all of us. I'm just hoping that as Parliament reconvenes on an emergency situation for Monday, I just spoke to my chairman. I think we have to call on Gridco and the Minister to appear before the Energy Committee to give us a briefing on exactly what the problems are. And every Ghanaian should be worried. Within a space of 1 month, as I said, we've had two major shutdowns, which virtually affect everywhere in Ghana, and that is a cause of worry.
Even before the minister appears before Parliament, as you have suggested, I have a man on the line who perhaps might give us a hint of what the issue is. It's Richmond Roxon. He speaks for the Energy Ministry. Richmond, welcome to the program. Early this year, the minister said the temporary control room would be ready by the end of September. In June, as we all have become aware, the investigative committee said the interim system will be operational by the end of August. So which timeline is correct and why the gap?
Let me say good evening to you. Good evening to Honorable Collins, the media past Deputy Minister, and then, of course, the Deputy Ranking, and then good evening to the policy analyst from IES, that's Derek Hatcher. When the incident happened, of course, the minister put together a committee to look at it, and then also steps were taken to restore power. But once power had been restored, but before power was even restored, the minister had to take a critical decision whether we had to put together an entirely new control center or control room, or you find ways and means to be able to supply power immediately. That's what the engineers came up with. The minister took the decision to go by it, and then steps were taken to put together a temporary structure which will serve as the control room or the switchyard. That is what the minister referred to today, that will be completed at the end of next month, which is September. But before that is done, because ordinarily, once you generate, you should be able to evacuate through your switchyard, or what ordinarily I'll call as a control center, and that is not available. There's an inherent risk, and then of course he exposes the system to some volatility, and so any disturbance may affect that line because of the absence of the switchyard. And keep clear with the people of Ghana that within the period as this temporary measure is in place, we should bear with the system. Of course, everybody will attest to the fact that since April 30th, when that was restored, power stability has been up high. And once this is done, few times we've had challenges with the line like what we saw this morning. But the good thing is that the grid co-engineers, together with power sector players, took steps. Power restoration process began as early as around 5 to 6 a.m. And by 3 p.m., power had been restored to all parts of the country. And so I can confirm to you that as we speak, we are evacuating power from there. All systems are up and running, all the plants are up, and we don't expect anybody to be without power at this point, unless, of course, that's a localized problem.
Okay. And so does this mean that the temporary fix that is due in September won't actually prevent outages like the one we witnessed this dawn?
It will give the system robustness and some stability. But of course, once you're dealing with machines and systems, from time to time, some of these challenges come up. There's nowhere in the world that you have 100% foolproof system. No. Once you're dealing with systems, you're dealing with power, it happens. And so for us, one of the key things that you have to look out for when it comes to the robustness of the system is how fast you'll be able to restore when these challenges come up. To be able to restore this in a couple of hours. In fact, the issue happened around 4:30 a.m. By 6 a.m., the engineers had done some patrol of the lines and they had commenced restoration process. By 12 a.m., all affected areas had been back. And that is a test of the capacity of our engineers and the robustness of the system. And so you can never have a system where you will say that you will never develop a fault, you will never develop any challenge. No, even in our homes, our regular appliances, from time to time, these things happen. But the test is the robustness and how fast you'll be able to restore.
Richmond, don't go yet. Let me bring in Derek Hatcher. He's a senior research and policy analyst at IES. Derek, welcome to the program. Your outfit, IES, has been warning since at least March that Ghana's grid is entering a high-risk zone. Do you feel today's outage proved that warning is now materializing?
All right, thanks for the opportunity. Good evening to everybody. As you stated, we've cautioned because we've seen that our grid more or less is more vulnerable now. If you look at the power that is being generated, and then you look at the power consumptions in our various homes and then businesses, you see that there has been an increase in it. But when you look at that increase, it is not corresponding to the kind of investment that needed to have been undertaken within the transmission system. Now, what probably needed to have been done long ago wasn't done. And so some investment that should have been done in the transmission sector for the past years were never done. And so the system was just left like that. Now we've seen an increase in generation. We've seen an increase in, transmission. But the system is not able to carry it. Now you can also wait for one day to just say that you are just undertaking investment. This investment must be done periodically and must be done timely, and so that the system will be able to keep up to pace with whatever thing that is being generated that needs to be transmitted to the distributor. And so what we find ourselves in is a major thing. We are talking about resiliency. My big brother Richmond spoke about robustness. These are all things that need to test how the system is being strengthened. The minister also admitted that even though we are having a temporary issue, we are also having issues with it, because within 3 weeks we've had 2 major outages. And so even that temporary measure that we are even relying on right now, there must be an additional safeguard to be able to ensure that even before the 1 month gets completed, where the new system will be fully restored, we will be able to have some more or less like a more robust system to be able to evacuate power to consumers. I'm sure that is the way forward. But all the other things regarding investments and co, these are things that we will continue to have until there's a deliberate policy that is being taken to channel money into towards investment of our grids.
I do recall IES demanding the release of the July 29th blackout report. Has that been heeded too? Do you have that report?
Yeah, so as it stands now, we do not have that report because per the 29th July release from GridCo, they stated that they were going to set up a technical committee to be able to investigate, and basically that was to determine the cause of the disturbance. And I'm sure that if that report were to be released, it would have informed any corrective measures that would have been taken going forward. Now, we have not cited any report of that sort. I'm not sure if the media have also cited any report of that sort. Then 3 weeks later, just this dawn, we are also hit with another blackout. I don't know whether they are going to set up another committee again. And so how many committees would you want to set out while we do not know the cause of the first one? This is also another one. When are we going to know the cause of it? And is there going to be another one where we are going to set up another committee again? At least let us be more proactive going forward.
Let me bring in Collins Atumako-Mensah at this point. He's a deputy ranking member on the Energy Committee and also a former deputy energy minister. Mr. Atumako-Mensah, so do you feel that what happened today is likely to repeat itself within the September deadline that has been provided by the sector minister for a temporary fix?
Well, I hope it does not repeat itself. That will bring a lot of discomfort to all of us. But unfortunately, if I listen to the minister, he was quite clear that the system is quite vulnerable at the moment. And so we shouldn't be surprised if that happens, although I'm hoping that it never happens. And I want to go back to the point that the gentleman from IES just mentioned. And there have been several investigations that have gone on. But as he put it, myself as a deputy ranking member on the Energy Committee, and Parliament has not been briefed or given any of the reports. If you recall, when consumers were complaining bitterly about the rapid nature of how the meters are running, the minister set up a committee and asked that within 10 days this report back. We've not received that report. When the fire outbreak happened at Akosombo, the investigations were done. The report has been presented to the minister. We have not received that report. On the 29th July, Gridco indicated that they are setting up a technical investigation. We have still not received that report. I'm sure, of course, this situation is also going to trigger another investigation. And it's a problem because when we get the reports, it gives us a sense of what exactly is going on. And I'm going to entreat my brother Roxon, and that if he can make available all those reports, at least to the Committee on Energy, for us to peruse the document and profess some suggestion if need be.
Richmond is still on the line with me. Richmond, you've been listening to the minority on the Energy Committee. You've also been listening to institutions like IES demanding the reports of the previous incidents that occurred to at least be able to peruse it and see the way forward. When should we, as a country, expect a report on the blackouts that happened somewhere in July 29th?
Let me, before I come to your question, let me just set the record straight. I agree with Derek when he mentions that over the years, the level of investment required when it comes to our transmission system has not been forthcoming. And that is the truth. We focused highly on generation. We moved our generation capacity from the days of Akosombo Dam, which was about 1,000 megawatts, to currently our installed capacity of about 5,500. We've done a number of work when it comes to the distribution side, as we've done the last few years. The transmission has not been with the same pace as we've seen generation, but that is changing under this government. The number of major projects that the government has penciled to do that. We are looking at building several transmission lines as well as a number of BSPs, what we call bulk supply points, together with some lines. We've done some works in Kumasi on the lines. We've done some works in the Volta region as well. In fact, we're scheduled to go there tomorrow, but for the funeral of our late brother, Dr. Bukhari, which is happening today and tomorrow. Beyond that, we're also looking at the Eastern Corridor lines. We are doing an entirely new transmission line in the Volta region because the Volta region hasn't had dedicated lines. We are upgrading lines from 69 kV, some to 130, 161, some to 330 kV lines. And so I can assure him that government takes seriously when it comes to investment in the transmission system. And by the time His Excellency the President's tenure comes to an end, definitely would have seen significant investment as we are currently doing in the distribution side as well. Back to the issue of the committee and report. Of course, when incidents of this nature happens, you want to get to the root cause of the issue. And for us as a ministry, like the Honorable Minister John Jinapo mentioned, not that we are not aware, we are aware of the nature of the system that we have now as a result of the briefing and the work that was done by Gridco when the incident happened. And that's why we appreciate the vulnerability of the system. So it's not that nothing is being done. It's not that we are going to set up a committee. No, when the issue happened on 29th, there was no committee set up. The minister tasked Gridco to investigate and provide appropriate responses to what had happened. And that briefing was comprehensively given to the minister and government on whether or not the Akosombo report, for instance, should be released. Some of these issues have to do with the national security. We know that when it comes to electricity sector, some of them are very sensitive issues that you will not be able to put out reports of such nature, because we are going to put out a report of that nature. Now you have to disclose how the engineers have brilliantly been able to evacuate power from Akosombo for us to be controlling the power from Tema. That is not something that you want to put out in the public domain, considering the incidents that happened and also what's the investigations ongoing and what the investigation is ongoing. And so I'm sure that the government will take a decision on some of these ones, like Honorable Collins mentioned. If there is a need to share some technical briefing with Parliament, I'm sure that will be done.
Thank you very much for your time this evening. That is Richmond Roxon. He speaks for the Energy Ministry. And earlier we heard from Collins Adumakun, who is a former Deputy Energy Minister and the Deputy Ranking Member on the Energy Committee. We also heard from Derek Hatcher with the Institute of Energy Securities, IES. And it's now time for News Night, though. And remember, you can be a part of our show by sending us a WhatsApp on 055 11 11 997. Gemma is standing by with the headlines. Well, tonight, the Ministry of Education is demanding immediate reinstatement of 14-year-old special needs student in the boarding house after she was allegedly defiled by 2 watchmen at the school. We've got details as police arrested the 2 watchmen involved with the Ghana Education Service, also interdicting them. Also coming up this evening, the rollout of government's flagship 24-hour market is sparking fresh controversy
that they will have. Then, of course, especially cold chain facilities and so on, it will contribute to the supply chain efficiency we want to achieve. But for the moment, we have no responsibility whatsoever. So if
also, the rollout of government's flagship 24-hour market is sparking fresh controversy. We'll hear from the minority and CSOs on who are already asking a lot of questions. Tonight, Supreme Court to decide Kojo Ponkoma's effort to stop Operation Recover All Loot criminal trials from going on during the legal vacation. Tomorrow, we have details from the Supreme Court on a day of fierce opposing legal arguments. And later, Accra girls make flying NSMQ start as they cruise past Asamankese and Sandema in their opening contest. They have a strong message for their contenders in the 1/8 stage of the competition.
So the other schools, they should get ready because we are ready to unseed to seed. So they should just get ready for us because now our motto is aim high and we are aiming to go to the climax. So they should all just wait for us.
And later on your say, as the battle for points begin, we revisit one chemistry question that came with a lesson its contestants weren't expecting.
Yeah, Salas. True. Try it at home, -1.
In business.
Energy analyst Benjamin Nsia pushes for lasting solution to Ghana's power supply challenges.
And in sports,
the 2026-27 Ghana Premier League prize money increased to 3 million Ghana cedis.
Remember, you can be a part of the conversation. Share your thoughts with us on X with the hashtag News9 or by text or voice notes, and also via our WhatsApp line 055 11 11 997. Do keep them brief, straight to the point, and within 20 seconds.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the program.
Now, the Ministry of Education has ordered Bolgatanga Girls Senior High School to immediately reinstate a 14-year-old girl with special needs to the boarding house. This follows allegations that the student was defiled by 2 watchmen on campus. GES says the incident happened when the student, who is on medication, had a relapse and required medical care. The police have arrested the 2 watchmen, and GES has also interdicted them as investigations continue. Let's go to the phone line and speak with our Appiah East Regional Correspondent Albert Sorry for more on this. Albert, what more do we know about this incident at Bolga Girls Senior High School? We're still working the lines to speak to our Appiah East Regional Correspondent Albert Sorry to give us more on the situation in Bolga Girls Senior High School. Albert, can you hear me?
Yes, good evening.
Tell us more about this incident.
From what we understand, this student has some mild form of autism, and she, like many other students in the school, often try to charge the tablets that were distributed to students for their studies.
there aren't any charging ports available to all students in the school. So normally they go to the security post at the school to charge these tablets. It was in the process of going to charge her tablet that these security officers at the school, they've described them as watchmen, took advantage of her and, sort of sexually abused her, allegedly. One of the watchmen did that at the security post. From what we also understand, the other one, sort of took advantage of her when she was on her way back to the dormitory one night after the school prep session. And so it took some time before she reported it, and the school authorities investigated. They questioned the security men in question, and they admitted to the offense. They subsequently reported the issue to the police. Before that, there was a letter from the school authorities deboardingizing the student. She was a boarding student, but they withdrew her from the boarding house. Later, the school authorities explained that because of her condition, she needed to be taking her medication, but they realized that she hadn't been doing that regularly because of the fact that she was in the boarding house. And so the school authority felt that being at home and coming to school would enable her guardians or her parents to frequently give her her medication. Yesterday, we got information that the two men who allegedly abused her have now been arrested. The Appiah East Regional Police Command confirmed that in a press release today that the two men are in their custody and they are assisting in investigations.
Albert, we are grateful for your time. Albert Sorry is our Upper East Regional Correspondent. Let's still stay on the phone line and speak to the girl's uncle, Akopuga Zotipela Ayo Dugo. We are working the line to get him. When we get him, we'll bring you that interview. But the Deputy Education Minister, Clement Appiah, has joined us on the phone line. Welcome to News 9. I'm sure you've engaged the school management since this issue came to your attention. What reason did they give for withdrawing the boarding status of the girl?
Well, let me say good evening to you and to our listeners, and to indicate that we became aware of this issue as reported by a Bolgatanga-based journalist, Edward Adite. And since the minister gave me some instructions on a course of action to initiate. So we are yet to receive a full and detailed report from GES through the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. But given the magnitude of the issue and the implications thereof, the Honorable Minister in his wisdom thought it was necessary for me to lead this effort to try and bring some clearer understanding and to allay the fears of Ghanaian parents with regards to the safety of the awards on our school campus. And that is why we have asked that the victim, whom we hear is a 14-year-old special needs student, should be given the needed counseling as well as the medical attention she requires, and that her revoked boarding status should be reinstated. Our understanding so far is that the parents of the victim have not been pleased with the way the school management handled the issue. So while we are waiting for the full report through the Director General, Minister felt that this issue required a ministerial intervention, and that is why I was instructed to issue the statement.
In the statement you talk about, you made a point that, and you just said it here, that the victim should receive all the necessary medical attention and counseling for her quick recovery. Who is ensuring that happens?
Well, GES should be responsible because, you know, one thing that we have done as a government, and particularly at the Ministry of Education, is our minister has committed to allow institutions to work, to allow our agencies to work. We only come in if and when it becomes necessary. And so the directive is to GES because the Ghana Education Service is the agency under the ministry responsible for pre-tertiary education, including our secondary schools.
You are yet to get the full facts, but you have directed GES to immediately reinstate the boarding status of the victim in question. Is this the best way to go? Because we just heard from our correspondent who says that one of the reasons why the school withdrew her boarding status was for her to be with the parents and receive the medical attention that she needs.
But you see, that is part of the problem. And while we are waiting for the full report, I can tell you that the Honorable Minister is not happy with the way this matter has been handled. First of all, for us to become aware of an issue of this magnitude in the public space in itself is a challenge. And clearly, at another time, the regional director, the municipal director, the head mistress, they have questions to answer. But the reason why this was instructed is because we are aware that the parents have not taken kindly to the way the matter has been handled, including the set instructions that were issued by the school, that she should be withdrawn from the boarding school and that medical expenses, counseling, and all of that should be borne by the parents. We don't think that a girl, a minor, for that matter, somebody with special needs, especially at a time when ministry and government, we are working to promote and improve special needs education and inclusive education, that we allow this matter to go the way others may have anticipated. So we are taking a keen personal interest in this, and we side with the parents. If the parents decide that based on those conditions, the award should no longer be in the school environment, then we would understand that. But the school ought not to make that decision, which is at variance from what the parents desire. And we believe that our school environment should be safe enough. We should put in place the mechanisms to ensure that all students at all times are safe. I mean, how can we say we are promoting inclusive education? And what that means is that whether a student is suffering from autism or has one or another form of disability and yet can participate in education in a general school setting, that they should be allowed to do so. So we cannot go against our principle of promoting inclusive education by agreeing that because she has special needs and because she's a victim, the solution is that she should be withdrawn. There are many more like her also in the mainstream school system. And so that is the angle from which we are coming from.
I hear you about the concern that you are raising, but any parents listening to us will be very much worried about the safety of the awards. What is the ministry exactly doing to ensure that our awards are safe in schools under the care of teachers?
Well, there are rules, and there are different entities responsible for different responsibilities. And so we expect that head teachers, headmistresses would have control over what goes on their campuses, including supervising the staff, both teaching and non-teaching, and ensuring that they do the right things. And that is even one of the reasons why schools are allowed to procure the services of security personnel or security agents or watchmen, if you want to call them so. So we expect that the structures and the system should work. And if and when they don't, we will hold people accountable, and we will do just that.
We are grateful for your time. Dr. Clement Park is the Deputy Education Minister. We are still working the line to get Gyasi. He's the Executive Director for Africa Education Watch to speak to him, because they also raised concerns about the school's handling of the case after the student's boarding status was withdrawn for one academic year. When we get him, we'll bring you that interview.
Away from that, the Supreme Court will decide on the efforts of MPP MP for Fuasi Aire Kojo Nkrumah to stop criminal trials from proceeding during the legal vacation. Our resident legal affairs correspondent, Kweku Asante, was in court today for us and has more.
On Friday, the Supreme Court will decide whether or not trials during legal vacation, this particular legal vacation, should continue or ought to be injuncted, as NPP MP for Fuasi Aire Kojo Nkrumah is asking the Supreme Court to do. Kojo Nkrumah says the Chief Justice's directive to some judges to sit during the vacation, and in particular to conduct full-blown trials, is unconstitutional. And while his substantive matter pens before the Supreme Court, he has filed an injunction application seeking to stop the trials from proceeding in the interim. Today, the matter came to be heard by the Supreme Court. Single Justice Gabriel Scott Poorman heard the matter. Even before the substantive issue having to do with the injunction application will be gone into, Frank Davis, representing Kojo Nkrumah, raised some preliminary legal objection to the Attorney General representing the Chief Justice. His view was that with the peculiarity of this case, the Chief Justice ought to be represented by an independent lawyer. That objection was fiercely resisted by Deputy Attorney General Justice Shremsai, who said the matter involved the administrative decisions taken by the Chief Justice, and so the Attorney General is well within his right to represent him, unless, of course, the Attorney General held a different position to that was being held by the Chief Justice. And as far as he was concerned, there was nothing wrong with the Attorney General's department representing the constitutional body, being the chief legal advisor to the government or the three branches of the government. That preliminary legal objection was overruled by Justice Gabriel Scott Poorman, and we'll get the full reason in the ruling that will be published tomorrow. Then the court went into the substantive injunction application. We first heard from Frank Davis, whose view was that the Chief Justice, the directive to the courts to actually conduct legal trials, infringe upon the Constitution, and if that were allowed to go on until the substantive matter is dealt with, irreparable damage will be caused to Kojo Nkrumah, the applicant. And that is how the Deputy Attorney General responded, that the three-tier test that has been laid out by the Supreme Court for granting injunctions in public law has not been met in this case at all, and that the balance of convenience do not favor Kojo Nkrumah. No irreparable damage will be caused him, among others, for which reason he believes that this injunction application is totally misconceived. The presiding judge, Gabriel Scott Poorman, in fact sitting as a single judge, heard the arguments on both sides and adjourned the case to Friday at 10 o'clock a.m. to make a ruling on this injunction application. Mind you, all these trials have all now been suspended at the High Court pending the determination of this injunction application. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante, the Supreme Court, Accra.
Now, the Minister of Roads and Highways, Gavins Kwame Agboja, has expressed concern over the construction of bridges under the previous government without the necessary approaches to make the roads motorable for commuters. While inspecting some big push projects in the Ahafo and Bono regions, the minister said about 50 bridges were constructed across the country but remain unusable, putting an additional financial burden on the state.
We needed to complete this. There are many of these things dotted around the country, sadly, and we spent a lot of money, and it's sad that we were having situations where we spend money to import bridge components and just leave them, or at best we launch the bridge and forget about the approaches, and the approaches are not cheap either. So we need to now step back and then identify all those and get them completed. Otherwise, the money we have spent on the components, there's no value to it. So this is one of them. And the same applies to the 50 check bridges, of which almost all of them have been launched. The majority of them cannot be used because the approaches have not been done. We are planning to use our own resources to complete them because we can't let those investments just go waste.
And still on roads, yesterday the focus was the Greater Accra region, where contractors working on the busy Dodua-Afienya-Dawenya road said one lane will be completed by the end of December to help ease traffic congestion. During an inspection of Big Push Projects, Roads Minister Gavin Zagbuja also directed contractors to accelerate work on the 17-kilometer Tema-Aflao road amid concerns over delays. Fatal Bayaga has a wrap of the tour.
Gavin Kwame Agboje says no significant work has been done since his last visit to the site 4 months ago, leaving commuters struggling every day while plying the road. According to him, the progress of work is disappointing, and he has therefore tasked the two contractors to speed up work.
Right from the beginning, I get the impression the contractors do not intend to do the work because I don't see any activity. It's 17 kilometers. One gang doing a small culvert somewhere, talking about working on diversion. Well, diversion gives you opportunity to do actual work. So that can't even count as work. Maybe if those were the initial works you needed to do to get your right of way. But we can't leave 4 months and come back. I can't see much work going on here.
He also taught the Tema motorway charging the contractor Maripoma Enterprise Limited to expedite construction by working both day and night to meet the completion date in 2027.
There's no reason why you cannot work even more in the night than the day. So I'm encouraging you to take advantage of the President's 24-hour economy to do more of the disruptive works in the night.
The owner of Maripoma Enterprise Limited, Alhaji Ali Saidu, assured that the company is expediting work across all its projects and will complete them within schedule.
We believe in planning. We don't work to impress people. You understand? So go to the various project sites. You will see the result of planning and how we have been able to achieve very much in this short period. The famous Bole project, I urge you to go there and see what is happening now.
The minister also visited the Afienya-Dodowa-Dawenya road, where he monitored the project being executed by Oswell Investments Limited to ease congestion along that stretch. The contractor assured that one lane of the road would be completed by the end of this year.
Yeah, it will be done by December, Afienya. Yes. Yeah, it will be done. We can achieve it easily. So from Ashama Junction to Afienya Junction will be done before the end of the year.
The minister says the contractors must ensure that projects are completed on schedule to ease the burden on commuters and improve road connectivity. For Joy News, Fatal Bayaga, Accra.
In the Ashanti region, the Member of Parliament for Bosomtwe, Dr. Yao Osei-Aduchum, has commended the government's commitment to complete installed road projects in the area, describing it as a clear sign of continuity in governance. Speaking to the media, Dr. Aduchum noted that the resumption of work on the Prabong to Seria Road will pave the way for the full operationalization of the Seria Regional Hospital. He added that contractors working on the Kumasi Lake Bosomtwe Road have also returned to site and are making steady progress.
The Sewa Hospital, commissioned in 2024, is yet to be operational due to outstanding administrative processes. Prior to the commissioning, the previous NPP administration cited poor road access as a key reason for the delay. During our visits, sections of the road, including the frontage of the Sewa Hospital, had already been asphalted as contractors worked to complete the rest. Member of Parliament for Bosomtwe constituency, Dr. Yao Osei-Aduchum, speaks about the project.
The road from Gyasi to Sewia, especially to the regional hospital, and the one from Sewia Junction all the way to the Sewia Township, both are under construction. The one from Gyasi to the hospital has been asphalted, and the other one from the main road, Sewia Junction to Sewia, is also halfway. So great progress is being made, and I'm grateful to the current Minister for Roads and Highways. He promised me that it will be done, and it is being done. I truly appreciate his support.
The Kumasi Lake Bosomtwe Road which began under the previous administration, also stalled for nearly 2 years after asphalting reached Abidjan Kwanta. Although civil works were done, the lack of asphalt left the road dusty and in poor condition. Meanwhile, Dr. Aduchum says he expects the road project to unlock the tourism potential of the Lake Bosomtwe area. For Joy News, Nana Ojima, Kumasi.
Meanwhile, here in Accra, residents and commercial drivers at Hansonic Junction near Dansuman are demanding urgent action over the deplorable state of the roads in the area. They say years of complaints about the poor roads and persistent flooding have produced little change. The situation, they say, is affecting their businesses, livelihoods and movement. Nancy Kumson has more.
For years, this stretch of road at Dansuman Junction has become a source of frustration for residents and motorists. Each time it rains, sections of the road become flooded and muddy, making movement difficult for both vehicles and pedestrians. And for those who make a living transporting passengers, the consequences are immediate. Taxi drivers and motorists say passengers are increasingly reluctant to board vehicles from the junction because of the flooded and muddy condition.
Our customers no longer come here because they cannot get through the flood. Most of them now prefer to alight at Sacramento. The drivers have had to park their vehicles, and some are even playing checkers.
Aside from slowing down business and motorists, some drivers say they are forced to spend the little money they earn on spare parts as the poor state of the road consistently damages their vehicles. But it is not only drivers who are bearing the cost of the bad roads. Some residents say some drivers are unwilling to drive through the mud and flood waters to drop them at the junction. The municipal chief executive of Ablikuma North, however, attributes the persistent flooding to inadequate drainage infrastructure. He says the scale of the problem is beyond the capacity of the assembly and requires intervention from the Ministry of Works and Housing.
The waters you see on the road is a deliberate attempt because there are contractors going under the bridge and desilting. They cannot meet the water, so they have to divert the water onto the street so that they can have access and then do the proper drainage. The permanent solution, I can assure you, doesn't lie in the assembly.
Nancy Kumson's report read to you.
Well, let's go on to the telephone lines right now and speak to the Deputy Minister of Roads and Highways, Al-Hassan Suhini, for more on the toll that has been embarked upon by the sector minister. Mr. Suhini, welcome to the program. You're currently in the Bunu region. How is the big push shaping up in that part of the country?
Well, thank you very much, Evans. Good evening to you. Good evening to your listeners. It's shaping up well. Generally, today's tour has been quite impressive. The sites visited include the Sinyane Outer Ring Road, where we have about 34 kilometers of road being undertaken by Kofi Job. We are satisfied with the progress of work so far. Over 50% of work has been done, and we are hopeful that he will complete that stretch, ahead of schedule. We have been assured that in about maybe by December, about 6 kilometers of the Lot 2 would have been open to the public. He would have finished the 6 kilometers of the Lot 2 and opened that to the general public. And that is just to showcase how the whole ring road will look like when it is finally done. We also visited Joe Shop's site, where he's working on the Wenchi and Sofo to the BB to Sampa. It's quite a long stretch, and we were also impressed with the mobilization we saw on site, the drains that were done, the earthwork that have been done so far, and the fact that he's a little off schedule. He's supposed to be doing about 20%. We are told that he's about 18%. But the stretch has already significantly transformed, because we were there only about 3 or 4 months ago, and we know the state of that road when we were here about 4 or 5 months ago. So even though he's slightly off schedule, the works that have been carried out has significantly improved the stretch very, very much.
Okay.
And the people are also very happy about it, even though not so much has been done yet. And we are very sure that the 2% that is off the mark can easily be reclaimed. We also inspected the Gingini to Sampa Road, which is the longest big push project handled by one contractor, I must say. It's about 80 kilometers, and Rango Company is on it. And it was exciting listening to the people in the Gingini community, where the contractor has already started putting on the wearing course on sections of the road. We were not quite happy with the maintenance of the sections that he is currently not working on. And so we did not mince words. We have spoken, plainly about the expectations we have of him moving forward. He is on schedule, but we think that as part of the project, he should be maintaining the existing carriageway, even if he is not actively working on those portions. So we are very confident that that section will also improve.
What happens if those deadlines are missed? Because this is not the first time that you or your boss, the sector minister, has expressed dissatisfaction with contractors. What assurance can you give us that if they fail to meet those deadlines, something is going to happen?
Well, a number of times things have happened, but sometimes we do not think that, some of the actions we take are corrective. They are not meant to be punitive. And so when it even looks that punitive, it is not in our interest to destroy anybody's business. So if our interest is to protect our business, and our business is a big push. And so if you are not living up to your expectation and we ask you to step aside or relocate you, it is not our business to actually publicize that. We have done a number of such reallocations since we began these monitoring. But where, for example, it is expected that the contractor will improve upon the carriageway, even as he does very good work on other sections of the road, it is just a matter of us insisting that our engineers who are in the region, make sure that the contractors do it. And most of the time, they do it.
Right. Thank you very much, Deputy Roads and Highways Minister Al-Hassan Suhini there.
It's now time for business. George, we are faced here with the latest. George.
Well, Gemma, energy analyst Benjamin Nsia is pushing for a lasting solution to Ghana's power supply challenges after recent national blackout. And Gemma and Kenneth, I don't know how much you are contributing now when it comes to SNIT, because somebody today had his account credited with 213,000 Ghana cedis.
Is that somebody you, George?
No, I mean this is the highest beneficiary on the scheme actually,
and as part of top 5.
No. So I'm telling you that maybe contribute more. When you contribute more, you can have your monthly payment reaching 213,000 Ghana cedis for the August payments. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one-stop shop for all your office essentials. Synthesis tanks and Pepsodent, Herbal and Charcoal.
Your home could be anything you want it to be. It could be a stadium.
He's just 12 yards out. He shoots.
Oh!
Yes.
What a strike!
It's a goal.
Or a gaming arena. Yes! Let's go! Sometimes a classroom.
Madam, please, I don't understand.
All right, let's go over it again. Which part don't you understand?
The whole shop.
Or it could be an office.
How many orders are ready? Okay, send them to East Legon first.
Or even a research center.
Daddy, what is the Big Bang Theory?
Wait, let me ask ChatGPT.
You can make your home anything you want it to be, because no matter the experience you want at home, MTN Fiber will power it. Get unlimited internet up to 500 megabytes per second from as low as 299 Ghana cedis. Connect your home or business today. Visit the My MTN app or dial *5057# to check fiber availability and request now.
MTN.
Who dey brush? We dey brush them. Who dey brush? We dey brush them. Brush your teeth. Brush your teeth every day and night. Slide the gems and tackle them. Brush the gems away. England gems, we go brush them. Croatia gems, we go brush them. Panama gems, we go brush them. We go.
Whatever the germs, brush them away with the new Pepsodent, now in limited edition World Cup packs. This advert is FDA approved.
Cast your mind back to 2022. The prices were rising. The stress was high. Every liter of fuel felt like a sacrifice. Do you remember who stepped forward first? When others were comfortable with high prices, Star Oil chose you. We cut our own profits so you could keep your AC on, keep your engines running, and keep your life moving without the heavy burden. We gave you room to breathe when things felt tight. Because of you, our star savers, we became number one. Today, the pumps are a battleground. Others are finally cutting prices because they have to. But Star Oil, we do it because we want to. Don't just chase a price, remember a friendship. We were there for you then, and with new innovations coming your way, we are here for you now. Star Oil, still quality and affordable fuels for all.
Introducing Ghana's leading pay-as-you-copy photocopier leasing company. Lease an A4, A3, heavy-duty or production machine and pay for only the copies made or design your own payment plan. Simple and tietia. That's not all. Incredibly, toners, repairs, maintenance, follow-me printing, centralized tracking all come free of charge. Remember, financial prudence is the name of the game. Folks, forget about the expensive gimmicks and be smart. Join the hundreds of satisfied clients across all the 16 regions and every sector of the economy and save over 60% of your printing costs. Visit us at www.valexlease.com or call 0244 644048. Be prudent and lease a copier. Terms and conditions apply. Valex Lease is a wholly owned Ghanaian company. Valex Lease, affordable document management solutions.
Hello, good afternoon. I am calling from your bank. We are currently experiencing a system downtime, so we need to secure your account. Please, can you confirm your account number and your login details so we can restore access immediately? Yes, your username and password, just to verify.
Beware of fraudsters. Your bank will never ask for your login details, PIN or password over the phone. Shine your eye. Spot the fraud. Stop the fraud. This message is brought to you by the Ghana Association of Banks.
If you spot the fraud, you go fit to stop the fraud. Make you know that it's gone.
Cover, everything will cover. You and all you love.
Hollard, we cover you.
Sasso, sasso, come tonton preko. Sasso, sasso, come tonton preko. Edrana drami ne buseshe. Yeah, how can see any malaria? Minya me pone me sasso spray. Every mosquito study run away. Come tonton preko. Sasso, sasso, mi se come tonton preko. Come tonton preko. Sasso, come tonton preko. Nani sham ne die e demonstronko.
This advert is FDA approved.
You're welcome back to Business on Newsnight. Now, energy analyst Benjamin Nsia is pushing for a lasting solution to Ghana's power supply challenges. Now, this is coming after the country was hit with a national blackout due to a major fault on the Akosombo Volta transmission line. But Mr. Nsia said these preliminary explanations are not enough.
Using very ad hoc short-term approach will not sustainably resolve the problem, but will just have a short-while resolution that is likely also going to create another problem in future by having these periodic large-scale outages across the country. The situation is worrying, especially when there is the perception that Gridco is holding much information from Ghanaians and also pushing its communication through certain information asymmetry. I think this will not help us in resolving this particular challenge. I believe that there are certain hidden reasons why we continue to experience some of these challenges. At the time, it's likely going to be a shortfall in terms of our reserve margin, as well as our inability to fully restore the control room of Akosombo hydro plant, which.
And that is Benjamin Nsia. He is an energy analyst. Now, the highest paid person on the SNIT pension scheme today had its account credited with more than 213,000 Ghana cedis. There is more in the following Business Desk report.
This pension is the highest monthly beneficiary of the scheme and comes after the State Pension Trust SNIT credited the account of pensioners under the scheme today. However, this applies to persons whose contributions fall under PNDCL 247. Under the normal pension scheme, one beneficiary received more than 33,000 Ghana cedis today. Based on the SNIT payment advising by Joy Business, some 580 million Ghana cedis was made in bulk payment today. SNIT makes these payments on every Thursday of the month. According to SNIT, it remains committed to making regular and timely payment to pensioners.
And that is the Business Desk report. Meanwhile, the lowest person on the scheme in terms of beneficiary payment today got a little over 400 Ghana cedis credited to his or account. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority says it is working to address payment challenges being experienced on the Ghana.gov platform. Now, some businesses today experience intermittent technical challenges affecting tax payment on the platform. According to a statement from the Ghana Revenue Authority, it is working with all the relevant agencies to resolve the issue so that it will aid the payment of taxes and other payments right on time. To other stories, the Ghana Mine Workers Union is demanding the release of more than 350 million Ghana cedis locked up funds belonging to more than 19,000 miners and their families. Speaking to Joy Business after presenting separate petitions to the Bank of Ghana, Ministry of Finance and Lands Ministries, actually said the General Secretary of the Union, Abdul Monin Bana, said that the situation is causing several financial institutions and brought some financial hardship to the affected workers.
The governor of the Bank of Ghana owes us a responsibility under its enabling act to protect us. Unfortunately, they have failed. And so we are demanding that all our locked up funds in excess of 350 million Ghana cedis belonging to 19,000 members, miners of this country and their families. We are demanding every penny from the Bank of Ghana. So as a law-abiding institution, the Ghana Mine Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress, we will hand over this petition to the governor of the Bank of Ghana. Please and please and please act on it with expedition.
And Abdul Mumin Bana is the General Secretary of the Ghana Mine Workers Union. Now, MTN Ghana has intensified efforts to promote sustainable business practices among small and medium-sized enterprises by organizing a sustainable workshop aimed at equipping businesses with knowledge and tools to drive long-term growth, whilst minimizing the environmental impact. Chief Corporate Services and Sustainability Officer at MTN Ghana, Joa Rafi, has been giving us more details about this initiative.
We started this journey saying that sustainability is our collective responsibility, trying to galvanize action around what we can all do to make sure that our businesses are projecting that image of doing things and doing them well, taking into account our environment, our people, and the ethics of doing business. If you're an SM, we know that there are certain things that big corporates can do that small businesses cannot do, but there are also areas of opportunity for small businesses, and so together how can we encourage each other, encourage small businesses, show them how things are done. We've developed a toolkit in collaboration with ACCA that we are going to take them through, and we are going to have a challenge, a sustainability challenge for the SMEs, and at the end of the day we'll have a whole program for them and awards and all that.
And that is the Chief Corporate Services and Sustainability Officer at MTN Ghana, Ajua Wiafe. Now, Fidelity Engineering and Trading Company has officially launched its full lineup of GAC vehicles in Ghana. Speaking at the launch, Group Chief Executive Jean Yin revealed that understanding the local market informed his decision to partner with GAC Motors.
At this remarkable moment, to witness the official launch of the full GAC vehicle lineup in Ghanaian market. Ghana is a vibrant and promising land with a fast-growing economy in West Africa. With rapid urban development, improved living standards, and upgraded travel concepts, the local automotive market is stepping into huge new development opportunities. With long-term market experience and in-depth local insights, Fed Auto partnered with GAC Motors to bring a full range of passenger vehicles covering fuel, hybrid, and EV models to Ghana and West Africa.
Group Chief Executive of Fidelity Engineering and Trading Company, Yang Yingfeng. And that's all for business on News Night. Now, Kenneth, guess who? It's my guest on dinner tonight on PM Express. We are engaging an economist, Dr. Ishmael Yamson, on the current gains that we've made and how can we sustain it going forward. But don't forget, he is also the current chairman of MTN Ghana. And the issues of the xenophobic attacks in South Africa and whether MTN has condemned it, have they done enough as a company with significant or partial owned by South Africans. You'll be hearing his thoughts on that one as well at 9 p.m. on Joy News and all our social media platforms. Tonight at 9 p.m. as I engage the economist Dr. Ishmael Yamson on PM Express.
A very knowledgeable man, the
Business
venerable Ishmael
edition.
Yamson.
Thank
Gemma.
you very much, George. Let's do sports now. Benaya is here. Benaya, what's in sports?
So the Ghana Football Association President Kenneth has disclosed that the prize money for the 2026-27 Ghana Premier League season has been increased from 2 million Ghana cedis to 3 million Ghana cedis. Now, speaking at the GFA's 32nd Ordinary Congress, Okreku also revealed that each of the 18 participating clubs will receive 1 million before the start of the new season. Now, according to him, this forms part of the association's commitment to invest in domestic league and reward excellence.
For the season beginning 2026-2027, each of the TPL clubs will receive 1 million Ghana cedis each again. The winner of the TPL will take home 3 million Ghana cedis. So, like I said, in total, we're going to pay 9.5 million in prize money for the just ended GPL season. Our partnership with Adesa Limited has ushered in a new era for football broadcasting in Ghana, enhancing the production quality, reach, and visibility of our competitions. Although there remains scope for further innovation and improvement, the progress achieved so far has been remarkable and provides a solid foundation for the continued growth of our football.
So that's the president of the Ghana Football Association, the Kenneth Okreku. You know, Benjamin, 1 million Ghana cedis for each club for participating and 3 million for winning the league. That's 1 million more.
Asante Kotoko 3 million because you are winning the league. 3 million
but
is so
half a loaf is better than none, you know.
No, we are not doing half.
We are not doing.
We want the full.
And also, Benjamin Asari won. He was awarded with $38,000 and also given a vehicle from Jack Motors for being the best player of the Ghana Premier League this year.
Oh, really? I thought it was because he
Benjamin
participated.
Asari, the goalkeeper.
In the World Cup.
Yeah.
He's best player because of what?
I mean, he was only I think he was the only local player to be in the Black Stars. He's performed well.
I think that is a kind of low self-esteem award, if you ask me. So because he was the only local player that participated in the World Cup,
because of his
so
performances, he's the best. He's the best out of the local players we have.
But how
here,
many
so-
local did they send to the World Cup? Anyway, congratulations to
Well,
him.
I
I'm
think
happy
he
for him.
deserves it anyway. He like.
Yeah, he's done
he did
well.
well.
He's eating good.
Yeah.
I hope he gives me some of the money, though.
For what?
With your plenty money.
I mean, we'll go and have
Manaya,
some
be
dinner.
grateful.
I should be grateful. Amen. Gemma, if I bring you to take.
No, let's give it to.
But before I go, let's remind our listeners
Mhm.
that we have it's just 9 days to the Dress Sports Invitational Tournament. So companies interested in participating can secure their slots by contacting Slevin on 0242 376 445 0242 376 445 via WhatsApp or phone call. So
Yeah, I'm playing football on that day. So
yeah, I asked Kenneth
please.
yesterday what you'll be doing. He has
I'll
not
be
still
running.
answered. You've now decided
Yeah,
4,000, 200 meters, 100 meters,
Bring
4
on
by
1
100.
million, 1 million meters.
I'll be waiting. You know what I'll be doing. I'll be doing arm wrestling. So
Oh, please.
maybe
I
I'll
told you,
join
I've
Gemma.
warned you.
I'll partner you in the football. So I'll be your partner in front of in the attacking force.
Okay.
You'll be the number 9. I'll be the number 10. So I'll be assisting you to score the goals.
Is
right?
that a male-female football?
Yeah.
competition?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All
All
play
right.
all.
We are going
Yeah.
to score. No problem.
And Kenneth to be our coach.
Yeah, of course. I mean, better than Pep Guardiola. Trust me.
Right, the 24-hour Economy Secretariat is under fire over government's flagship 24-hour markets project. Demolitions displaced traders, angry protests, and now questions over who is actually running the show. Presidential advisor Guzi Tano admits the controversies have landed the Secretariat in court multiple times, but he insists his office has no role in building or managing the markets.
Deciding where it goes, and so on and so forth. Eventually, if those markets are established and have the modern facilities that they will have, then of course, especially cold chain facilities and so on, it will contribute to the supply chain efficiency we want to achieve. But for the moment, we have no responsibility whatsoever. So if people sue 24-hour economy authority, we've been sued 4 or 5 times for something that we have no responsibility for. So our lawyer is moving a motion in November to get us to be removed from the defendants list because we have no jurisdiction, we have no status in the matter.
Well, the Republic Bank Joy News Habitat Fair kicks off tomorrow, bringing together opportunities for prospective homeowners to explore properties, financing options, and special deals under one roof. Whether you're looking to buy your first home or take the next step toward owning a property, the fair promises a range of offers to help make that possible. Head of Sales and Marketing here at the Multimedia Group, Max Fuga, tells us more about what visitors can expect at the fair.
Habitat Fair Clinic provides you that congenial atmosphere, that conducive atmosphere where you can directly engage, appreciate the various options that are available, and make an informed decision. You can also get financial advice when you visit the Habitat Fair. Fortunately, we have Republic Bank who are setting up their stands there to offer expert advice on mortgage, on financing, everything housing, including home improvement. And so when you walk in there, it's a one-stop shop for everything housing. You also have the opportunity to network and learn from industry experts. And so all roads you lead to the Achibota Retail Center, or Achibota Mall as it's popularly called, from this Friday to Sunday, which is of course the first clinic or mini fair of the Republic Bank Joy News Habitat Fair 2026, where you have everything housing being displayed. We have over 22 exhibitors. In fact, that is what the space constraint will allow us to take, who will be there to offer you everything from land acquisition to building to roofing. Everything housing will be there. Just walk in there and then make an option, make a choice, and also receive expert advice on financing.
Accra girls SHS have sent an early warning to their potential opponents, declaring themselves the best girls' school in this year's NSMQ while challenging all contenders to bring their A game. This is after Ajis cruised past Asamankesi SHS and Sandema SHS in their opening contest to book a place in the 1/8 stage. Speaking after the contest, the ladies said they did not come to play. In a related development, for 7 long years, Edinaman SHs watched the 1/8 stage of the NSMQ from a distance. Today, they broke through, ending their drought and marching on into the next stage. While Edinaman celebrated their long-awaited return, it was heartbreak for Abomoso STEM SHs and WA SHs, whose hopes of advancing came crashing down. But just as the school's motto, Perkwakaing, the 2026 NSMQ journey is far from over for the Elmina-based school. I'm rooting for my school, though.
Which school is that?
St. Louis Senior High School.
Okay, I wish them all the best.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, it's now time for your say, and Michael Ashali is here with the latest. Michael, what are people saying?
Well, Kenneth, people are sharing quite a lot of messages with us, our cherished listeners. We really appreciate you for joining us every day with your comments. Let's start with Britical from Anglonga District. He says, if indeed these two security personnel engage themselves by sleeping with a sick student, the law should deal with them without fear or favor to serve as deterrent to others. And then this one, Bright, Bright, you sent that already. And then this one says that I'm Michael from Volta region. One, I don't understand why the school should change the boarding status with a girl in the situation, claiming that she is on medication. Can't the girl be in school and take the medicine? Also, he says, let us not pressure the contractors on our roads for them to do fake works. If we notice that they are not delaying the work, we should terminate the contract. This one says that on the blackout from dawn, we are begging the Minister of Energy, he should watch his back as the sabotage, he says, is still rife in Gridco and VRA against the government. This is from Francis in Accra. And Divine says that so these security men have no sympathy for a special needs student. They must be dealt with. And then this one from Michael Entwibu in Abofu says that it's time we take a critical look at the recruitment process for security personnel in our second cycle institution. And Kenneth, that ends it for your say.
Right, and thank you very much, Michael, for bringing us what people have been saying across social media. And that's it for Newsnight this evening. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. My name is Kenneth.